Hi everybody, welcome to Fit for Life. My name is Anna. Let's get up and get moving. Today you're going to need 2 hand weights. So if you have 2 hand weights, this is a great time to learn how to use them. If you don't have hand weights, that's okay. You can use anything around your house that has a little bit of weight to it. So water bottles, soup cans, anything that gets you moving a little bit. We're going to be doing a lot of work with our shoulders today and combining a few exercises to make these fun little 2-in-1 exercises. So go get yourself some weights and let's start with our warm-up. Okay, so as I said before, my name is Anna. I'm an exercise specialist, kinesiologist here in Westlock for the Aspen Primary Care Network. We used to do this class in person, but of course we can't do that right now, so we're doing our best to stay motivated, stay moving, and stay fit for life while you're at home. Keep in mind while we're doing these exercises that you're going to be doing them safely. Pay attention to your own body. Aspen PCN is not liable for injuries or damages that can be incurred during participation with this video. So please make sure you are listening to your own self and staying safe. If something hurts, there's nothing wrong with just taking a little bit of a break and waiting until the next exercise. So don't go too crazy. Pain does not equal gain, and make sure you're staying safe. So we're starting with our warm-up. Nice high knees as we march on the spot. Feel that breath getting a little bit faster. Feel that heart rate coming up a little bit. We're working on getting the blood flowing to those working extremities and just getting everything moving. Okay, we're going to switch to our polka. Nice and light on our toes. The big reason that I include the polka into the warm-up was I once had a patient, and that was their #1 goal for exercising, was he wanted to be able to dance with his wife again. So since then, I always include the polka in my warm-ups, because we'd all like to feel like we can dance if we want to. Okay? Good job. And doing our hip swings. Careful that you're not kicking anything over in your house. Nice and loose through the hip. Feeling like those joints are getting nice and lubricated. Everything's starting to move. And I'll try and make sure that my list here goes along with the list on there. Okay? All right. And let's do our shoulder rotations. Starting small through the shoulder, getting bigger in our circles, getting bigger, really warming up those shoulders, getting smaller again, and changing directions, getting bigger, nice, big shoulder, rolls here. Got some big shoulder work to do today. Keep in mind that if you do have shoulder issue, any kind of rotator cuff injuries, make sure you're careful with these things. You can always do them without a weight or do them modified, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take one of our lunges and we're going to take one of our weights and we're going to combine a lunge with a shoulder press, okay? I'm still going to use my chair here for balance, should I need it. Now we're going to do a static lunge, which means that I'm just taking a nice big step and I'm not going anywhere with it, okay? I'm going to come straight down, and as I come down, I'm going to press up, okay? And coming on up, all right? As we come down, we press up. You can have a chair or a wall nearby for help with balance, okay, if you need it. And remembering that we are coming down, we're not coming forward, okay? So as we come down, that shoulder presses up. Our brain has to do a couple different things here at once, which can get a little bit confusing. All right, and press, a couple more. Feel that back leg having to do some big work. Make sure you're squeezing your butt as you come up. All right, squeeze the glute on the rise, squeeze. All right, and do the same thing on the other side. You can have a wall or a chair close by. We're going to take a nice big step, and as we come down, we're going to press up with the shoulder press. All right, so coming down, pressing up. All right, and I'm going to try not to tip over here. Squeeze that glute on the way up, and making sure that we're not lunging forward, that we're coming down. All right, and you don't have to come down all the way to the floor. If you want to do a quarter lunge, that's fine too. I want you to focus more on making sure that you're balanced over top of your legs here and that you're squeezing this glute on the rise up, okay? So doing a quarter lunge, if your knees are sore, that's fine to do a quarter lunge, which means that we're just not going down so far, okay? There's still big work going on in the legs here, and we're still getting that glute to activate as we squeeze coming up. Squeeze the glute. Good press. Squeeze the glute. All right, great job. Next one, we're going to do some rotations with our shoulders. So really working the rotator cuff here. You can use both of your weights this time. We're going to start with the hands at 90 degrees, the elbows at 90 degrees here. We're going to come out to the side and rotate up. All right, and down. Out, up, rotate, down. Out, up, down, down. Okay? Nice, controlled angles. I really split this into two different movements where my elbows come out first, then my hands come up, rather than thinking about going like this, all right? That's different. We're gonna split it up into coming out, rotating up, coming down, all right? Feeling those rotators are having to do some work. Nice rotator cuff work here. Make sure your shoulders are nicely down. They're not hunched up by your ears. They're nice and down along your spine. Good job. Couple more. And last one. Elbows, hands up. Coming on down, elbows down. Okay. The next one we're going to do is a squat with a curl and press. And you can do this with one weight or with two. I'm going to use just one because I'm going to try and focus a little better on my form here. So I still like to aim for my seat when I do the squat. So whatever that looks like for you, maybe you're able to touch your bottom all the way to the chair. That's fine. If that hurts your knees, maybe only go a quarter of the ways down, halfway down, that's okay. Just making sure that we maintain that good squatting position rather than this kind of squatting position. Want to make sure we're aiming for the seat, okay? So as we come down, I'm gonna let my hands go down, curl, press, extend behind my head, coming on up, coming down, and press, extend, up, and squat. Curl, press, extend, up, and squat. Curl, press, extend, up, and squat. Good job. We can kind of get into a good pattern of movement there. And again, still thinking that we're very much doing 4 different exercises here. The squat, curl, press, extend, all into one. I'm going to show you guys the side view here. Squat, curl, press, extend. All right? And piecing those apart into 4 different movements. I'm not just squatting and bringing this behind my back. I'm not doing that, okay? We're going to squat, curl, press, extend. All right? And then reverse that. Good form. Our knees are happy. And curl, press, extend. One more here. Squat, curl, press, and a tricep extension. Good job. Okay, that's really good work. The next one we're going to do, we're going to use both of our weights this time. This is called the helicopter. Big work in through the shoulders here again, so make sure if you feel any kind of pain or anything like that, maybe do it without the weights. You use your own best judgment there, okay? So we're going to start off with our 2 hand weights, coming straight in front, out to the side, down slowly, and then reverse. Out to the side, come to the front, and coming down. Big shoulder work for us today. Being really careful with this, and coming down. Front, side, down, side, front, down. This is a great exercise for your shoulders, but once we practice with caution, my little hand weights are 3 pounds here, and I don't know if I'd want to do anything heavier than this, because when I think of my resistance intensity rules, the first few repetitions should feel pretty simple, pretty easy. By the last few repetitions, so as we're getting into the higher repetitions here, I should start to feel some muscle fatigue, a little bit of warmth in through those muscles. Maybe I get a bit of a shake. That's where I'm headed to right about now. So I think the 3 pounds is just nice for me here. You can think at home, a filled water bottle, a larger water bottle, is about 2 pounds. A regular size plastic one is probably closer to 1.5. So think about what you have at home there, okay? Next, we're going to put the weights down. We're going to do a little bit of hip work here with our fire hydrants. So you can get down on the floor and do this in 4-point on the floor, or you can use a chair and do a modified 4-point here, which is what I'm going to do. Nice tabletop position here. I'm going to bend my one leg and just bringing that knee out to the side, keeping the back as flat as possible, just working those hip rotators. Out, coming on in. Good job. Keep it up. And always going slow and controlled. Pause at the top, and then coming back. Okay, couple more. All right, and we'll do the other side here. So bending the other knee, back is nice and flat, and coming out to the side, slowly coming back. trying to keep your back as flat as possible there, and we're not rotating in through the hips like that. Out to the side, slowly down. Pause at the top, slowly back. You might feel like you're not getting as much range on one side as the other. That's normal. Quite common to have a little bit more movement on one side than the other. That's okay. And coming down. Couple more. You should feel that standing leg having to do some work now. And good job. Okay. I'm going to pick up one of my weights again. We're going to do another shoulder exercise here. I haven't done this one for a while, so we're going to try it out here together. Now I'm going to have the weight at this face height, and my goal here is to go around the world, is what this is called. So I'm going to draw a circle around my head with the weight, holding on to both sides. So I'm going to come this way, bringing it behind my head, and coming back to the front. And going the other way, trying not to mess up my hairdo too much here. And going again, trying to keep that weight as much on my face at that plane as I can, nice and low. So practicing there. Good shoulder range. Trying not to have to crane my head through there too much. Couple more. Like I said, we're trying not to mess up the hairdo here. Around. Good work in the shoulders. All right, so that one's called an around the world, and it's a little bit different, but it is good movement needed in our shoulders there, okay? Next one we're going to do is a tricep kickback. So we're going to be working the back of the triceps again. We're going to be getting into that tabletop position, just like we were before. Now we're gonna keep this elbow tucked into us and just bringing that weight back and coming on down. Slow and controlled. You can bring your knee onto the chair if you want there. Keeping that elbow tucked and nice and slow. A lot of people have a set of these hand weights at home, but they're not sure how to use them or how to work with them safely. There's a lot of fun things that we can do with them. There's a lot of ways that we can hurt ourselves with them as well. So it's important to make sure that you're still slow, you're still controlled, and that you're doing things safely and in a controlled manner. That's where it's fun for us to pull these out once in a while. So I'm starting to get a bit of a shake here on the return. Nice and slow. Good job. Let's do the other side. Keeping that elbow tucked into me and just coming on back. Slowly back. Nice elbow extension. Slowly back. Okay. Nice and controlled. Nice and in line with the body here. I don't want to look for this kind of swing. I'm not doing a row here. That's a different exercise. We could have done that one today too, but we're not going to. And nice kick back there. Feeling it in the back of the arm. And slow and controlled, bringing it down. Okay, starting to feel some of that warmth, some of that fatigue in through the back of the arms. There, all right. We're going to do a couple exercises sitting down here. My first one, I'm going to just use one of these weights Again, we've done this one before. You don't need to use a weight. You could use a pillow or something. I like having a little bit of weight to it. But we're going to hold that weight between our feet. I'm sitting quite far back in my seat, so my knees are pretty close here. I'm going to hold that weight between my feet. I'm going to just do a terminal knee extension. So terminal means that I'm in the last few degrees here of knee extension. I'm having to squeeze a little bit to hold on to that weight. And I'm really activating this inner part of the quad muscles. Slowly back down. Keeping in mind, the first few may have been pretty easy. By the time we're getting into some higher numbers here, you might start to feel some fatigue. Slowly back. Good job. Slow down the release. Great little exercise for people with knee pain. Really works on strengthening this inner extensor. Good job. Okay, the next one we're going to do, we're going to jump right into our core exercise. So this is kind of a modified take on a Russian twist. So a lot of times this is traditionally done on a mat on the floor. We are going to stay sitting in our chairs. If you want to go on the floor, that's fine. Keeping in mind my rules or guidelines with core exercise. If you feel like you're starting to strain in your back, sit a little bit further back in your chair. It's going to be a bit more supportive. If you want more of a challenge, come a little bit further forward in your chair, and you're going to have to work a little bit harder in your semi-recline. So we're going to hold on to this weight. I want to do a semi-recline, and I'm going to keep one foot planted on the floor, and I'm going to, if you want, you can keep both of your feet up, but I find that we start to strain our back a little too much. So I'm going to keep one heel planted on the floor, and I'm going to come semi-reclined, twisting over to bring that weight to the pocket, okay? So bringing that leg up, twisting to the pocket, and then I'm going to switch sides and twist. And I'm going to do this nice and slow and controlled, because I find if we're slow and controlled, we're going to keep our back safer. We're going to have more of those stabilizer muscles firing. Control that knee that's coming up. Try drawing the knee towards the opposite shoulder, not the shoulder towards the knee, okay? I don't want to collapse like that. That is not what I want. All right, we're very much controlling our shoulders in good posture here. Twist, and to the other side. Twist, and remembering to breathe whenever we do core exercises. All right, feeling this in through our sides. Bring that knee towards the shoulder. Okay, try and do a couple more. We're starting to feel this. Remember to breathe. Slow and controlled. Good job. So a bit of a modified Russian twist here. Okay. So really making sure that our knees aren't kind of flying off to the sides when we do that. We're trying to draw the knee towards the opposite shoulder as good as we can, trying to maintain that good posture. When we're semi-reclined, that means that we're not laying back here having coffee. We're very much activated through the core, okay? So fun little exercise there. So next, for our balance, actually, I think I'm going to use a weight for my balance exercise today. So we're going to, as usual, check in with our tandem stand. So how are we standing heel to toe on a nice line there? Check and see, can you do this without any support? Can you do this where you transfer your weight forward and back. Okay. And seeing how you feel. And try it with the other foot. Heel to toe. Check and see how your hips are feeling. Are you able to comfortably transfer your weight? All right. So, change my mind. I'm actually going to use 2 weights for our balance exercise. Have your chair nearby. If you need to do this with just 1 weight so you can have a hand on your chair, that's perfectly fine. However you feel safest doing this. You can do this with no weights as well, and that's okay. Adding up some weight is just going to make it a little tougher. Throws your own weight off a little bit. It's just a bit of an extra challenge for your foot. So we're going to plant 1 foot. We're going to see how we feel. Check the hips. Make sure that you're even and you're not sagged in through that hip. Make sure you're activated. Make sure your legs are able to swing a bit and you're soft through that standing knee. We're going to bring these weights out to the side if you can. Like I said, you don't need to have weights. And then as we come forward, we're going to do a bit of a Superman here to the front. Check your knee. Is it soft? How is your foot? Are you able to lift your toes off the floor? Are you able to ground them down to the floor? Coming on slowly back up and down. We're going to do the other one, all right? Stretching out that foot a little bit, seeing how much we had to work there. So plant your standing foot. Check your hips. Are you nice and even, or did you sag through that hip? Make sure you're activated. Make sure the swinging leg is soft. Make sure your knee is soft. And we're going to bring those weights out to the side and then slowly coming forward into our Superman. Okay, holding that. And you look around and you see how things are. Are you soft through that standing knee? How are you through the toes? Slowly coming back. Try not to be a jack-in-the-box that pops back up. Feel how much work this standing hip needs to do and coming on down. So many fun things that you can do with a set of weights or soup cans. If that's what you have at home, that's fine too. Let's stretch out the calves before we sit down here. Bringing a heel behind you. The heel stays pulling down to the floor, and we're just going to lean into this front leg. Nice calf stretch here. Other side. Nice and slow. We're not bouncing any of our stretches. No one's getting ready for a football game here. We're just wanting to keep those calves nice and mobile. Other side. Nice gentle pull. And here in class, we do tend to rush our stretches a little bit just because of time constraints, but if you have a stretch that you find is particularly helpful to you, keep in mind while you're doing it at home, you do a 20 to 30 second hold, switch sides, 2 to 3 times on each side. Nice, long, gentle stretch is going to be safer. You're going to see longer lasting results from it. If you just relax and take your time. Okay, we can sit down, stretch out our neck. So I'm going to tuck this hand behind my back. If you're not able to tuck your hand behind your back there, just leave it drawing down along the side of the chair. We're going to bring that ear towards the shoulder. You can provide a little bit of overpressure if you want. A lot of times we find that it's not actually necessary, but a lot of people too like just the guidance there. Other side. Nice and gentle. lot of people carry a lot of tension in through these upper traps, those muscles that tend to draw our shoulders up towards our ears. Good job. The next one we're going to do is for the smaller muscle underneath the upper trap. His name is levator scapula. We're going to stretch that one out today. He's responsible for a lot of tension headaches as well. So instead of putting the hand behind the back, now we're going to place the hand on the shoulder. We're going to turn our nose away from that side and then tuck the nose down towards the armpit. And then I just tilt the back of my head down a little bit. Give your nose a bit of a wiggle here and see where you feel that stretch the best. Coming on out, and we're going to switch sides. Hand on the other shoulder, turn the nose away, tucking down towards the armpit. Nice stretch here. Little higher in the neck typically where we feel this. Other side, hand on the shoulder, turning away, tucking towards the armpit. And again, on the other side, hand on the shoulder, turning away and tucking the nose towards the armpit. You might feel that you're tighter on one side than the other. That is normal. Okay, and relax. Let's do our twist. So nice twist from our seat all the way to our crown, looking back over our shoulder. Really thinking about how important it is that we maintain this range of motion through the spine. All the way. And again to the other side. Good job. All right. We're going to do our nice little side stretch here. Reaching for the coffee filters in the morning. They're on the top shelf in my kitchen. Nice big stretch through the side. And the other way. Big stretch. Big stretch. Okay, we're going to stretch out our hip flexors today. So we're going to do our modified lunge. So instead of doing a lunge in the middle of nowhere where I have to do a lot of work, I'm going to just scooch to the side of my chair. My one hip and thigh is very supported and this side is very free. So you need a chair without arms for this or some type of stool. I'm going to reach my leg back as far as I can and feeling a nice pull in through the front of this thigh here. I'll give you guys a bit of a side view here as I draw that leg back. Modified lunge. Nice stretch in through the front hip flexor there. Okay, and going the other way. Drawing this back leg all the way back. And I'm very nice and supported on the chair through the other side. Nice stretch in front of the thigh, in front of the hip. Okay, pushing that leg, that heel back, creating space in through there. The other way. I like this modified lunge because I find quite often it's a little bit too much work to do this without the extra support, and we end up just working a lot in through this balancing leg. So I really like having the support of the chair for this stretch. And the other side. Nice modified lunge. A lot of times people have pain in through the front of this hip. Quite often these tight hip flexors contribute to low back pain as well. So this is a really wonderful stretch to incorporate in your everyday. And it's pretty safe for a lot of hip and knee issues here too. Let's stretch out our hamstrings. So as usual, we plant the heel in front of us, engage the toe. I sit pretty far forward in my chair, sitting up nice and tall and hinging forward just a bit. Doesn't take too much. Keep that toe engaged towards you. We're feeling a nice pull down the back of the leg. We're not pushing into anything to where it hurts. We're not bouncing anything, nothing like that. Other side, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall, hinging forward, thinking about that chest being very open, thinking about drawing forward from the belly button. And that's going to really improve the quality of your stretch there. The goal is not, let's switch sides, the goal is not to touch your toe, all right? Though stretching out like this is gonna help you get there, but this is all coming from my back. If I really work on engaging and maintaining that posture, I get a lot better target on the hamstrings. Plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting tall, hinging forward. Nice stretch here. Posture is so important. If we lose our posture, we lose our stretch. Okay? So, thank you again for being here. Thank you for joining us. If you do have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free. You can always give us a call here at the office. Talk to your doctor about getting a one-on-one referral. Talk to another therapist that you trust if you're having any issues with your shoulders or hips or anything at all with these exercises. Make sure you do talk to somebody about it to get a little bit more one-on-one guidance. But again, thank you for being here. And until next time,